Hello, beautiful people. So today I want to drop you guys absolute monster of a training. We recently had a client of ours absolutely explode their business, doubled their following. And when I say double, they have 2 times as many followers as me. They took their group to 1,000 group members and they cracked $10,000 profit in less than 8 weeks. So I wanted to bring this strategy and this concept to you guys and give you guys the model that we've been running for the last few years. And really dive into it and talk about the different pieces and the moving parts to it. Because I think a common problem for a lot of the people in our audiences is the fact that they think our business model is so simple that it couldn't possibly work. But the proof is in the pudding. We've had clients double the sales that we've made in the last 2 years since deploying this strategy. And it's actively what we do day in and day out in our 7-figure business. So I prepped a quick 4-page doc for you guys today, and I'm going to run through it. If you guys at any time want this document, I'll leave it in the comments section. And let's dive in. So as I mentioned, client wins 60,000 followers, 1K group members, and 10K profit in less than 8 weeks. And the crazy thing to think about is I don't even have 60,000 followers on my Facebook. I do not even personally have 60,000 followers. So this person took a brand new Facebook profile, exploded their following, and in turn grew their group and actually started selling and converting clients based on the content that they were creating. So first things first, like when you deploy this strategy, this concept, a couple of the things that can be a thing of the past, endlessly wondering where your next lead or sale is coming from, having to manually send messages or rely on adding random folks to build your audience one by one. Still a very prevalent strategy. Not sure why people still do it. We've all been there, I feel like. I used to add friends from random groups, hit them with the great to be connected, and go on from there. Or 3, spending a ton of time on back-to-back Zoom sessions in hopes of converting sales. I'm not here to say that calls don't work and sales calls don't work, and industry standard is run traffic to a funnel where you book a call and then you convert clients. We don't do calls, right? And we let our content do a lot of the heavy lifting for us and let people come in and decide if they want to work with us or not, having to get on a Zoom call and twist their arms. I built this business and we try to implore all of our clients to build their business that revolves around their lifestyle. Building a life around your business to do the opposite. If you don't want to spend 40 hours a week on Zoom, then I want to give this training a watch. Obviously, with a amount of traffic just like this, talking about short form video content. Use short form video content to rapidly explode following without having to be some slimy, unethical, talking about fake side hustles and remote jobs and all that shit that nobody's really doing. Literally talking about herself, her journey, her story, her experiences, which rapidly blew her group up by 1,000+ people, which without a doubt will become a 6-figure business simply from the people that have already joined her group. As I just teased out, we're not big on creating content purely for the algorithms. A lot of my content personally doesn't go viral. I don't create content with the intention of going viral or creating this content that's going to resonate with the masses, right? I'd much rather optimize for the right message or the right thing that I'm saying inside of my content, because then when it does work and it does bring people into my world or into my group or into my audience, actually closer to the point of being ready to purchase products. So a good example is if I am creating a piece of content that's about the best remote job that will make you $100 an hour filling out surveys in the next 15 minutes, and then they come into my group and I'm like, hey, if you want to build a 6-figure brand, expect to post content every day for the next 6 months. There's lack of congruency there, and it's going to start cannibalizing my opportunity to actually start making sales because of the initial messaging that I'm getting people in on the front. I'm promising people that they're going to make all of this money as soon as they start, and they don't start making money, or they come in and I start telling them that it's going to be a little bit of work for them to make money. You're going to think I'm full of shit. It's better to just be fucking radically transparent on the front. Talk about what your actual offers entail, what your actually services you're providing, or what the actual customer is going to have to do, even if it's not getting a lot of views. You don't need tons of views. You don't need tons of people to actually start making significant amount of money online. Like collectively between me and my business partner, we have less than 60, 70,000 followers across 6 or 7 different platforms. And we've done over 7 figures in sales. So it's a very big myth that you need more people. You need better people, in my opinion. So obviously the first stage of this is posting some type of short form video content, right? This can be a very powerful element to start mixing into your business. Every platform has a short form video medium at this point, right? You got TikTok, you got Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, Pinterest Idea Pins, everything. Everywhere has this medium. And these can do a really awesome job at pulling people to you. right? You can have one video pop off and then all of a sudden you have 100 people in your group. You can completely pivot your energy to actually starting to nurture those people in your worlds and then start converting clients off of the back end of those opportunities, right? As I mentioned in my community conversion system training, if you guys haven't checked that out yet, be sure to hit my pinned video on my channel. We're not big on actually selling directly from short form video content because the nature of it is a lot of the actual audience that watches the content from you is going to be a little bit colder. It might be their first time seeing you. They might not understand or know what you actually do in business. They might not actually understand all of the moving parts of what you do. So we like to use this as a singular piece. We like to use short form video content for the attention piece of business. We like to capture the attention with the short form video content. We like to get them into a place where we're actually going to start nurturing those people, building deeper relationships with those people. Our preferred platforms or preferred methods of that is actually communities, groups. Doesn't matter if it's a school group, Facebook group, YouTube channel, could literally be anything. It's literally a medium where your audience can actually start learning more about you and learning more about your offers on their own accord. Somebody watches a 60-second video from you about a video you put out on your YouTube channel, and then they go binge watch 8 hours of content from you. They just took themselves on this journey of deciding whether they actually want to buy your products or not, and you didn't have to twist their arm to do it. That's our business in a nutshell. These are some examples of like different styles of short form video content. And there is this doc below that you guys can open up and follow along or like actually see real-time examples of the content I'm talking about. But the biggest thing with the short form video content is testing. You need to test different lengths. You need to test different styles. And this is why I brought up these different styles here, because a type of content that's going to work for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you or vice versa, right? Piece of content that works for you on your platform or your actual social profiles doesn't mean that exact piece of content is going to work for me, which is the biggest problem in the make money online space right now. You have people who are just parroting each other, right? Copying viral videos, they're copying the trends. And then they're wondering why they're not making sales. And it's just because a piece of content performed for one creator does not mean that it will perform for you. You need to test. You need to try all these different things like short video with text, write a little 5-second video with a lot of text on the screen about what you're doing, what the outcome of your offer is, or where they can learn more about you. Or a talking video, right? Just talking about something in your business, talking about giving a tactic, a tip. These will usually get a little bit less engagement, but they do a better job at connecting with the people. You got trends. Now, I wouldn't make these the core focus of your business if you are trying to optimize to sell products or services. If you are trying to be like an influencer, you want a lot of followers, you want to monetize off like ad revenue or views and stuff like that. Yeah, you could probably do a lot of trends. These can work really well for like initial growth, but they're not going to really do that good of a job as for like actually converting clients or converting premium price services in my experience, just because it feels like impersonal. Right? You want to bring yourself forward into the business and in the content that you're creating. By all means, you can use all of these, right? It's not, you don't have to get set in stone and like only pick one. The biggest thing is trying all of them and seeing which one performs best for you. That way you know what style you need to double down on. You got stitches and duets. Stitches are pretty awesome. Haven't done very many duets in the last few years, but you can definitely capitalize on the hooks of stitching videos if you're doing some type of polarizing content. So also a very good one. Responses. These are probably one of the most slept on powerful ways. If you post a piece of content and people are commenting on that content, and you can start chaining reaction and responding to people and being a human and interacting with them, they are very awesome and very powerful at getting exposure to the new video and the old one. And they work really well at connecting with the individual who actually commented on the video. One story that comes to mind is I had somebody comment on one of my videos. I shot them a little 60-second response about what we did in business, and within the next day or two they bought a $1,000 offer from me simply because I answered their question on a video, right? Gave them an actual personalized response to what they asked. Series videos, these are really awesome, really powerful. Something that you guys can potentially look at is like a documentation of something that you're actually doing in your business. The really cool part about these is if you find a series that works for your specific socials, you can repeat this over and over again. The one that I did when I was starting my TikTok is I did exposing fake side hustle videos, right? I would talk about all of the side hustle content that I would see on TikTok. Some of you guys have probably seen them where it's you can make $600 an hour filling out surveys and all the stuff that nobody's really doing, but they're utilizing it to capture as much attention as they can, was actually like reading the fine print of these websites that everybody was talking about. They all did very well. All of them performed very well. So if you can find a series or use a series in your content that is kind of lets people come along this journey with you, it can be really fun and a really awesome way to engage with the audience. Weight loss journey would be a really good one if you think about it. You can literally, let's say you're a fitness influencer, you're a fitness coach, and you want to sell diets or meal plans or cookbooks. If you have this content series that talks about, hey, my journey to losing 20 pounds by being on keto, if somebody watches that entire series of content from you, by the end of it, a lot of the people are probably going to be pretty inspired about wanting to get on keto because they just watched you transform your entire physique in real time. It's a really cool way that you guys can look at spinning series of content into optimizing to sell more of your offers. You just got to think a little bit outside the box or creative with it. If you can ultimately do a series that is adjacent to offer you're selling, that's the best case scenario. For example, we have a client who's doing one right now that's like taking a brand new Stripe account from 0 to 100 grand and documenting her entire process to doing that. People are going to follow along as she does this. And as she's moving along, she'll start selling offers. But by the end of it, she's going to have a really kick-ass testimonial / case study group of, hey, this process that I'm giving you works because I literally showed you in real time it working for me. There's nothing like building proof of concept by actually doing the stuff that you're talking about in your content. A couple posting guidelines, right? Two hours between posts. I would aim for 2 to 5 pieces of content per day. You don't necessarily have to get super rigid on posting times or anything like that. Just post a few times a day. And if you're especially on like TikTok, post content back to back, right? Give yourself a little bit of a window. I don't necessarily think getting hung up on like the time of post really matters, right? Volume 130, music 5. If you use music, there is benefits to using it and not using it, right? You use audio, you can obviously pick up a little bit more views sometimes. With that said, sometimes you'll get like privacy policy issues. So like a lot of my content, I don't ever put music on it because I don't want that sound to get removed and my whole video is muted, right? And then I just have a piece of content living there that doesn't even have sound on it, right? Feels like a waste. Pros and cons to it, right? Depends on you, what you're doing, what you're optimizing to sell. Hashtags, too niche, too broad, one trend. For smaller hashtags, right? It's a big thing, especially on TikTok. People get they dive super deep into like hashtag strategies and stuff. And I don't think they're crucial, right? Hashtags do a better job at categorizing your content or really helping TikTok identify what that content's about. But it's not going to be like, if you use this hashtag, you're going to go viral. That's not a thing, right? It doesn't necessarily matter, right? I've literally probably only used the same few hashtags on all my videos. And that's just because I want them to populate if people search that in the search bar of TikTok. Post structure, 0 to 5 seconds, hook. How we did 500K in 13 months without sales calls. Obviously, don't create content unless you're like unethical. Don't create content talking about shit you haven't done. This is a real thing, right? Processed over 2,700 payments with less than 12 calls total. It's actually about $1 million in sales in less than 24 months without sales calls. This is a older training that we ran that I'm giving to you guys now. 5 to 45 seconds, right? Body solution reveal. Right? If you notice, if you read this doc, I'm like actually breaking down what this piece of content would look like. And obviously, whatever you wrap up CTA. So a good real-time example of this, I'll read it over, talk about this real-time short-form video content. How we did 500K in 13 months without sales calls. Short-form video content pointing to a Facebook group, where you're then leveraging long-form content to build connections, provide deeper level of value, and then kickstarting conversations off the long-form content, leveraging a Google Doc to showcase an offer to close sales. If you want a completely free training breaking down how you can leverage this exact same process in your own business, I ran a training in my group, giving it away in high detail. Tap link in bio and drop a comment, or it'll be like your actual CTA. Like for the replay of the free training, drop a hashtag group in the comments, and I'll send it your way. Now, there's a couple different ways you guys can get creative with your CTAs. Is you can either tell people to hit the link in your bio, or you can prompt for some type of engagement. I think it kind of depends on what platform you're on. Like we run a lot of our business and a lot of our stuff on Facebook, and a lot of the times I like to prompt for engagement over, hey, go hit the link in my profile, just because it can help fuel your actual content. if you start optimizing for people to engage on your content and it starts getting more and more interaction, that video is usually going to perform better. Right? Or if you can be polarizing in your content where you have people fighting in the comments or arguing or telling you why your methodology is broken, then video is probably going to perform pretty well. That's a little bit about like different styles of content and different ways to use them. But I want to give you guys a little bit of a behind the scenes look of why this can be the steroids for people who are primarily running their business on Facebook, or even been like manually adding people or like sending outreach messages or like running some type of very impersonalized experience as far as utilizing automation to acquire leads. Right? This is a real-time example of like our entire business structure and what has helped us do over 7 figures in sales. And so if you notice, this is like what I broke down today a little bit, right? Talking about different short form video content mediums. And the cool part is you can post one of these videos and then you can spin it into 5 or 6 different pieces of content from platforms. The biggest thing is keeping your business linear. Right? So I think for us, the reason that we've had a lot of success and that our clients have had a lot of success with this model is the fact that how simple it can be. You can post a short form video content, can send somebody to a community of your own, right? Then you're posting content in the community, whether it's written content, video content, and you're sparking conversations with people and you're selling your offers to them. There's only a few moving parts in the business, which the real benefit to that is the less moving parts that you actually have, the less opportunities you have for things to break. And when they do break, there's only a few things that you got to fix. It's not a 700-page email sequence that they're coming in and you got to figure out what link is broken and what email. Like, we're keeping it as basic as possible. So the biggest thing with this is utilizing the short form video content to capture the attention. Utilize it correctly as far as this is the medium for acquiring eyeballs on your brand. And then your group is the medium that you're using to indoctrinate people into your way of doing things, shedding light on what you're doing, who you are, more about you as a human being. Because then eventually you'll get to a point where you can start dialing this back, because you don't need millions and millions of people, right, in your group. You can start dialing this back and putting all of your energy into what you're putting in here and like ascending those clients down the path of becoming paid clients. If you guys want a real-time breakdown of this entire business model, again, check out my channel, pinned video, 57-minute video, breaks down our entire business model in high detail. But I just wanted to talk about a quick example of what this looks like and how it can be relevant to your guys' business. If you guys are not posting short form video content because you don't want to dance, you don't want to do all this other stuff on TikTok, you don't have to. I would seriously advise anybody who wants to sell more products or services online to start getting on these short form video content platforms. It could literally change the entire direction of your business. Like an example of this client that we're talking about today. Took a brand new Facebook profile to 60,000 followers, 1K group members, and 10K profit less than 8 weeks following this model. That's all I got for you guys today. If you have any questions, suggestions, you have any lack of clarity around this process as a whole, feel free to hit the description below this video, send me a message over on Facebook, and then we can talk about what this would look like in your own business, or we can plan out a unique process that you can start using to actually grow your own following and get you off those phones or create more leverage in your business so that way you're not spending as much time to actually convert clients.